Welcome to the lecture of data science. In this video lecture, we will cover the topic that is roadmap for the analytics capability building and challenges in data-driven decision making and future. So the first topic is roadmap for the analytics capability building. So in this topic, what we have to study is, suppose there is one organization and organization does not have any analytical strategy till now, but from tomorrow onwards the organization wants to start some analytics based strategy. So the organization is starting the analytics based strategy for the first time. Then which path should the organization follow? So it indicates the roadmap that how to start the analytics for your organization. So it is showing the roadmap that which step you have to follow, turn by turn which step you have to follow, so that you can easily and successfully build your analytics capability building model for your organization. So here it uses the different concepts just like the descriptive statistics, the data visualization, the pivot tables, the correlation analysis, basic quality tools, and the Six Sigma concept. So descriptive statistics and data visualization, you all know. Pivot tables are tables related to the mathematics. Correlation analysis means what is the relation between the two different things that you are doing on the internet using the technology. Suppose you want to buy a pen drive and you are searching for pen drive on the e-commerce website, and you are tagging and liking the advertisement related to the mobile phones, then the two things what you are doing is completely different. There is very less correlation between the two activities that you are doing. So this correlation analysis, it finds the relation between the two different activities. Then comes the basic quality tools, so which improves the quality of the analytics or the product. Then comes the Six Sigma concept. What is Six Sigma concept? It is like this, that is, you have to define the problem, measure, analyze it, improve it, and then you have to control it. Control, I can say the best example as the privacy control. So that is one of the control you can see. Then comes the companies who are planning to start the analytics divisions to support the decision making may use the framework which is shown in the figure. So let's see the figure. So this is the figure for the roadmap for the analytics capability building. In the figure, the first task is to define the analytics strategy. Then comes build talent. Then comes build infrastructure. Then comes identify sources of data and develop the data collection plan. And then comes analytics implementation. So these are the different steps for the roadmap. So if a company or then organization is starting the analytics strategy for the first time, then this step they have to follow so that they can easily build their analytical strategy successfully. After this, we have to see this table, that is the examples of the industry-wise analytical problems and the data resources. So let's see. The first step in the roadmap for the analytics capability building that we have seen is to define the analytics strategy. So in the first step, that is define the analytics strategy, what they have to do, what the organization have to do. So the organization has to develop a long-term plan for the role of the analytics. So for the role of the analytics, we need 5 to 10 years. You can't do it in just 2 to 3 months. So it requires a long-term plan. Then organization has to develop a long-term plan for the analytics. Then comes the organization has to identify the key functional areas, that in which domain, in which area they want to start the analytics. So suppose I take the big organization as the Reliance, then Reliance is doing so many activities. Then in which functional area they want to start the analytics procedure. So they have to identify that key functional areas. Then comes they have to communicate analytics strategy across the organization. Once the analytics strategy for a single functional area is built successfully, then they have to communicate that analytics strategy throughout the organization. Next is build talent. So in this, what the organization have to do is, the organization have to hire the persons who know this analytical strategy, as the organization is starting the analytical process for the first time. So it is obvious that within the organization, the employee does not know how to perform this analytical strategy. So for that, the company have to hire the skilled persons who knows how to perform the analytics. So the great recruitment strategy must be followed. So the manpower should include skills on technology as well as analytics models building. So if in place of the new recruitment, if the organization is training the employees who are in-house means the employees who are currently working over there. So the organization have to provide the training to the old employees if they want to convert that employees from developing stage to perform such type of analytical strategy. Then it requires a very long time, because this process is not short. To learn the analytics, it is not a short process, it is quite a long process and it is expensive. If an organization is doing the in-house training and the employees start working on the analytical project, then in-house team is still needed to validate the models generated by the external consultants. Then comes build the infrastructure. So in this, what the organization have to do? They have to do is, that is the task related to the hardware and the softwares. They have to provide some software which can perform the analytic procedures such as the R programming. The R Studio is used, Python is used. So the organization have to train their employees in such kind of softwares. And the hardware means some type of analytics. If the data is too large, if the data is big data, then high computational power is required for the computer system. So for that, we need a supercomputer to process such type of data. So the organization have to provide such type of hardwares to the employee to perform the correct analytical process. If the supercomputers are very expensive to purchase, then they can make use of the cloud infrastructure. From there, they can purchase the computational power. Next one in the roadmap for analytical capability building is to identify the sources of data and develop the data collection plan. So over here, they have to start gathering the data, that is your data set. After collecting the data set, what they have to do? They have to implement the analytics methods. So over here, they start with a simple application, targeting a small improvements. Then after targeting the small improvements, then they are focusing on the innovation plans, and then they will build an effective communication strategy for the analytics output, which can calculate the return on investment, that is ROI, on the analytics project. What is ROI? We have discussed in the previous video lectures. Now we will see the table related to the different problems that are arising due to the analytics strategy. So let's see that table. So this is the table. If you take an example of the manufacturing sector, then which are the domains for where you can focus the problem on. So these are the different analytical problems that you can focus related to the manufacturing sector. So the first one is the supply chain analytics. So it shows the different inventory management, the vendor selection, the distribution management. If you see the warranty analytics, that is the problem related to the warranties, then it falls under the warranty analytics. So it shows the management of the end customer warranty and the after sales support. from where you can find the data sources. So you have to collect the manufacturing data, you have to collect the commodity price data, then you have to collect the procurement, sales, and the production related data. Now the next, if you focus on the healthcare sector, then you can deal with the analytical problems like the clinical care and the hospitality related data. So in the clinical care, what you have to focus, that is data related to the clinical care and the treatment required for improving the quality of the care, and hospitality related data means the data related to the issues such as the registration process, the housekeeping, the nursing, the utility, the diagnostic. So if you perform the analytics related to the hospitality related data, then you can improve your quality. That is, if there is some problem regarding the registration process, and if you do the analysis, then you will come to know that what the problem is, then you can improve your process related to the registration. So this is how you can deal with the different qualities, and you can improve the services that your organization is providing with the help of analytics. So for the healthcare data, if you want to perform the analytics on such domains, then you need some data set. So from where you can collect the data set? So for that, you have to collect the data of all patients. Then you have to collect the data related to the hospitality, and you have to also collect the patient feedback. So by analyzing all such data set, you can able to focus on the problems related to the healthcare sector like this. So there are various other sectors like retail sector is there, service sector is there, banking and finance sector is there. So different sectors have different analytical problem where you can focus on it. If you consider the IT sector, then there are some challenges in the different domains. So in this, that is the data-driven decision making, it has some challenges just like the other domains. So which are that challenges? So let's study the challenges in the data-driven decision making and future. So the challenges are like this, which are still unsolved somewhat. So the first one is the discrimination, then comes the lack of transparency, then comes the violation of privacy, then comes a digital literacy, then comes fuzzy responsibility, lack of ethical frameworks, and the lack of diversity. So let's study all these 7 challenges turn by turn. So starting with the first one, that is the discrimination. So discrimination related to what? That we have to see. So the first is the data used to train the algorithm may have biases that led to discriminatory decisions. It means what? Suppose in rainbow there are 7 different colors, but in the training data there are only 2 colors present. Then how the model will train? The model will train based on that 2 colors only, but in reality there are 7 different colors within the rainbow. So the data used for the training algorithm, so it is not necessary that the complete data is present in the training model. So the training model consists of only few values, then based on that the model is trained. So the decisions provided by that model will be a discriminated decision, you can see. The second one is the discrimination that may arise from the use of a particular algorithm. So for the quantitative data, if you want to predict a future value, then for every data set, for every sector, you are simply using the simple linear regression. Then it is not true for all the cases. So if you use a single algorithm for all the different sectors to identify the problem, then it may result into the discriminative result, you can see. Another example of discrimination is you can say that some credit card companies have reduced their credit limits not because of the customer's payment history, but as a result of analyzing the behavior of other customers with poor payment history who shopped their similar stores. It means what? Suppose I have my organization, I am providing credit cards to the different people, then I have the payment history that the persons who I am providing the credit cards, they are paying their bills on timely basis. But I have stopped distributing the credit cards, or I have I have done the limited amount of distribution of the credit cards among the people. Because of what decision? Because of what things? Because of analyzing the other organizations data. So in the other organizations, they have people with the poor payment history, so they have limited their distribution of the credit cards. But for my organization, I have a strong payment history, so I should not stop the distribution of the credit cards. But I have stopped the distribution, I have done the limited distribution of the credit card by seeing the result of some other organization. So if you see the result of some other organization, that it may happens that the final result what you will get, that will be an discriminated result, that it what it saying from this example is. Now next we will see is, now we will see that is the lack of transparency. So in this, what you have to focus, you have to make the complexity low as much as you can do. So over here, the model which you are taking for the analytical problem solving, so that model should contain the low computational complexity. Then comes there are different types of lack of transparency. So it is divided into three opacities like this, that is the intentional opacity, knowledge opacity, and the intrinsic opacity. In the intentional opacity, they are focusing that the objective of this type of opacity is to protect the algorithm's inventors intellectual property. It means what? That the algorithm that is built, who has built the algorithm, who has invented the algorithm, so their originality should not be vanished. They have to maintain their originality. Then comes the knowledge opacity. In this type of opacity is due to the fact that the most people lack the technical skills to understand how the algorithm works. So some people are having the lack of knowledge to understand that how the algorithm is working. So again, it is the concept of the lack of transparency. Then comes the intrinsic opacity. So this type of opacity arises from the nature of the certain computer learning algorithm. Just for an example, the deep learning models. Next comes the violation of the privacy. So when you are doing the analytics, it is very necessary that you must follow the privacy rules. Just for an example, Facebook is doing the analytical different procedures. So they are not really relieving our privacy. So the violation of the privacy must not occur. You have to preserve the privacy. Then comes the digital literacy. So it is extremely important that we devote the resources to digital and the computer literacy programs for all the citizens. So based on that, we can do the analysis. Then comes the fuzzy responsibility. Fuzzy means what? Fuzzy means you can say you can say it as the not known, that is not clear. So not clear responsibility. So if you are making the decision based on the model, then that decision will affect so many people in future. So who is responsible for that decisions? So you have to identify that who will be responsible, that is the fuzzy responsibility is. Then comes the lack of ethical frameworks. So over here you have to identify that what is the legal process for the model and what is the illegal process. Then next comes the lack of diversity. So in this, that is the given the variety of cases in which the algorithm can be applied for the decision making. So it is important to reflect on the frequent lack of diversity in teams that generate such algorithms. So previously what they are doing, if they are dealing with the analytical problem, then they are only including the IT professionals in the team. But if you are dealing with the analytical problem related to the finance, then you must include some CA, that is chartered accountant, in your team. So you must have some team which contains the people from the different domains. So you have to make a team of people from the different domains, so you can tell it as the heterogeneous group. Previously they are only including the IT professionals, so they are creating the homogeneous group which contains the lack of diversity.